and the Raptors. Lord have mercy, me. Yo, yo, yo. Welcome back to Raptors Flex Plus. I am your host, Kyle. Yeah, and the Raptors, fam. What a game, bro. What a game. What a game. We got a W on the road because things weren't looking so good, man, halfway through this game. It was looking real dire, fam. Real dire. But somehow, some way, the Raptors pulled out the W 123 to 116 against the Spurs from San Antonio last evening in San Antonio, Texas. Wow. My God, man. And I really don't even know where to start with this game. Like, what I'm learning is that, I kind of already knew this, but like, things balance out in the NBA, man. It's gonna balance out because the type of performance that we had last week, or maybe it's a week and a half ago now against the Bulls, it just seemed very reminiscent. But like, we come out on the other side now against the Spurs because we were down heavy in this game, 22 at one point in this game, you know? And it's not like it was, the type of performance where Scottie's cooking, Pascal's cooking, everybody's cooking. You know what I'm saying? Like, deep into the third quarter, Pascal had like 5 points and Scottie Barnes had like 7 points when we were down. You know what I'm saying? This is deep in the third quarter. And then Scottie Barnes just decided to just, start turning it up. Turning it up like he's been doing all season long, bro. Scottie Barnes, what do you say about this guy, for real? What do you say about this guy? Because he is really looking like he wants to, make a real push to be a player of significant caliber in this league. And there have been people who have been just like, Scottie's the next guy up. Scottie's the next guy up. Like, they didn't want to make the trade for Durant because Masai didn't want to put Masai didn't want to put Scottie in there. And, at the time, I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. I was one of these guys like, well, it's Kevin Durant. Like, it's Kevin Durant. It's not just an easy decision to just be like, nah, no way. I don't want Kevin Durant. Like, yo. But, time will always tell in terms of, the decisions that you make as a front office in this league. And the decision that they made to make Scottie Barnes untouchable for like the last 2 seasons, right? Because not like, trade talks are just coming up last year. Like, the year going into that offseason, it was like, okay, do we trade for Kevin Durant? You know what I'm saying? And, Scottie Barnes has just been nothing less of spectacular. Spectacular. His 3-point shooting has gone to a whole other level now when he's out there on the court. I see Scottie miss a 3 in like the second quarter, and this guy's like he can't believe he missed it. This guy expects to hit everything that he's putting up at the rim. Everything. Like, that's a mentality now where like you expect greatness from yourself. And the confidence that Scottie Barnes exudes, it's just coming out of his pores, B. Like, Scottie Barnes, man, y'all know it. Y'all know it. I'm not just fanboy. I'm not just fanboying out for Scottie Barnes. I'm watching him play, and I'm paying attention to all the intangibles. Like I was saying on the last stream, I'm like, this guy gathered his team together. on a timeout that the other team took to try to slow you up. That's leadership. That's leadership, especially coming from a young player. Leadership. The expectation to be great. He's not hanging his head like, damn, I missed the three, man. He was literally holding his head like this because he couldn't believe he missed it, because he expects to hit everything. So his mentality is just to be great. And his motor has just been like, yo, this guy's on 0 to 100 as soon as the ball goes up. As soon as the opening tip goes up, it's 0 to 100 for Scottie. He's not letting up the rest of the game. Now, I have no idea if any of this is sustainable. But the man said out of his own mouth, like, yo, I was working on my conditioning this summer because I want to be able to, play minutes and play at the speed that I want to play at. And all of that work that he put in over the summer, the 3-point shot, man. Scottie's like, he's shooting over 40% for the season from 3-point. Again, I don't know if any of this is sustainable, but he's an all-star at this point. He's an all-star. You can debate it all you want. As we wake up this morning, the Raptors are 3-4, the 8th seed in the East. The 8th seed. Now, I'm no dummy, right? You lose 2 games, all of a sudden you're down to 13-14. But you win 2 games, and all of a sudden you're up to 5-6. It's still way early in the season to be talking about seeding. But my thing is, with as bad as the offense has been in totality to start the season, if you're able to kind of just middle while you work things out, you rely on your defense, because the defense in that second half yesterday, chef's kiss, me. Chef's kiss. The defense allowed us to stay in the game. Straight up and down. Because it's not like we were just dominating that third quarter. Now, mind you, we gave up way too many points in that third quarter. Way too many. But when there were time to just get ready to turn up, the defense was dictating the energy from the players that then transferred to the offensive end of the court. So don't come here trying to bat up the Raptors defense, because it's literally been the bright spot for the squad. I digress. If you're able to just kind of middle out until you figure out everybody's role on the offense, including Pascal Siakam, which we'll get to, okay? Because Pascal, we'll get to it, right? Let me just finish my point, please. If the Raptors can just middle out until you're able to figure out your offense, everybody's role on the offense, you get the right rotations, right? Because you see Darko now, like, he's making tweaks here and there to the rotation as the season has gone along. Now, Otto Porter's getting healthy now. And, man, he is a championship type player, Otto Porter. You're gonna look at the stat sheet. If you're not watching the games, you can look at the stat sheet and be like, yeah, Otto Porter's just mid. Like, but all the little things that this guy is doing, getting tie-ups, they're leading to jump balls, getting extra possessions for the team. Now, mind you, this guy had a jump ball against Trey Jones. Trey Jones is 6'1", and Otto Porter Jr. barely looked like he got off the floor for that. Ended up losing the jump ball, right? But that's a whole other discussion what happens after that. We'll get there as we talk about the game, right? But then you see a turnaround now where he's able to produce another jump ball on the tie-up. This time, I believe, is against Zach Collins, and he wins that jump ball. The offensive rebounds that are leading to buckets. The timely threes that we're getting from Otto Porter Jr. The defense, man, Otto Porter Jr. Really wish we had him last year. Really wish we had him last year consistently. You know, because our season might have went a little bit different, right? But that's neither here or there. Like we really don't know, but like it would have been nice to see him on the court last year, based on everything that I'm seeing that he's bringing to the court on the first few games that he's got in there so far this season, man. Otto Porter, you know. But the point I'm trying to make now is if the Raptors are able to just sustain and then go on a run once you figure things out, you know what I'm saying? A few win streaks here and there, 5 games, 4 games. Maybe you have a really big one, 7 games. I don't expect this team to have like a double digit, you know, win streak, 10, 11 games, something this year. I don't expect it. But this team is capable of doing that, you know, like the smaller win streaks. 4, 5, 3, right? And then you minimize the losing streaks. Now all of a sudden, by the end of the year, you are, 10 games over 500. You're able to do something like that. You're looking now at, sixth, fifth seed in the East. You know? While the other playing teams, they're more so on, the around 500 type thing, like we did last year. So we're 3-4 this morning. The sky is not falling. But yo, man, that first half was not popping. It was literally like a slow burn. You know what I'm saying? Literally like a slow burn. Because it didn't look like we were playing that bad. It didn't look like the Spurs were doing anything like, so crazy to us where we just, like they weren't doing anything nuts to us. They weren't doing anything special. But when you think about that first half, the turnovers, man, you just can't have them so much. Like, the Raptors are right now like the sixth worst team turning over the basketball this season. The sixth worst team turning over the basketball this season. And this was something I was talking about from the preseason when I first started watching this team. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, yeah, we're winning games in the preseason, but the clip that we're turning over the ball, like that's just not going to get it done in the regular season. And we're starting to see that now, right? We're starting to see that now. 12 turnovers in the first half, I believe, that led to 20 second chance points or, fast break points or just whatever. You know what I'm saying? Points off turnovers. You're giving away possessions while giving away points. Like, that is not a formula to win basketball games in any league. And it kind of hurts a little bit too, because I feel like we've been like, a little bit conditioned based off of the last 2 seasons to be like, hey, we're not the type of team that's going to turn over the basketball. We generally, for the last couple of years, took care of the basketball. I think we were number 1 last year in turnovers. So we need to see some improvement on that end, you know? But as the game went along now, when they're not turning over the basketball, that's when we start to see that the Raptors, like the type of potential that this team can have. You got to take care of the basketball. It's imperative for this team, especially because we like to give up offensive rebounds like it's nobody's business. Now, yesterday it wasn't that bad, but the timeliness of the offensive rebounds, they just were not like, you know, it's never good timing, I guess, but like it was bad timing yesterday. We didn't need those. And we found ourselves down early because of, these types of things. Now, I thought the Raptors played well to begin the first quarter. You know, I think like both teams are really just feeling each other out. Pascal Siakam was getting some really good looks, man. Like, I really don't know what is happening with Pascal. Like, he was getting some good looks in that first quarter. You know what I'm saying? He had like an open corner three, an open wing three. He came off the screen, got a push shot on the far end. Like, these are things that he's accustomed to hitting. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're accustomed to doing that. Like, you missed a layup on free on the fast break. Like, these are things that, like, you know, us as Raptors fans, just watching Pascal over the years, like around the bucket, he's kind of money still. He's been money around the bucket. A little finesse, but he knows how to create space for himself. Now, the 3-point shooting over the years has been up and down for him, but the man is capable. When he takes a three, I'm not like, oh crap, Pascal's taking a three. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm okay with him taking shots, especially if they're open. But fam, we really don't know, like, as fans, we don't know what to do with you right now. You know? My man called me up last night after the game, and he's like, yo, Pascal, man, like, we gotta trade him. And to be honest, he told me this after game 1 of the regular season. Now, you know, I think that's a bit irrational, after one game in the season. But for everything that we've seen so far from Pascal, you have to wonder. Okay, you have to wonder. Masai Ujiri said we're not really like getting into the contract extension talks because we want to see how people fare in this system. You know? And at the time, coming into the season, I mean, I don't know if anybody else felt this way, but I was like, bro, ink him up because we don't want another Fred VanVleet situation now, right? Where number one, A, he either leaves for nothing, or two, you're getting pennies on the dollar for a player because, in terms of a trade, because teams know that you want to get rid of him because they know that you don't want to lose him for nothing. So it's risky business. But I'll say this. When does the front office decide that they've seen enough of Pascal in this system and they decide that they want to see what else is out there in terms of a trade? Now, I don't want to be one of these channels 7 games into the season talking about trade this guy, trade that guy. But what I'm saying is that if this continues, okay? If this continues, when does the front office decide that they've seen enough of Pascal in this system and they start to look for other options? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. But the streets are talking, fam. The streets are talking. Pascal, time to get it together, fam. You know what I'm saying? Here on Raptors Flex Plus, I believe that Pascal can get it together. I don't know about, super max contract and thing, but like, I believe that with good coaching, the right mentality of the player, that, you can figure out how to get Pascal being more productive on the offensive end in this system. Okay? Because before long, okay, we are already in November, okay? Beginning of November still. But before long, it won't take that long after a few more performances like Pascal's been having so far to start the season, where they start talking about this in like the national media now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think people are being kind of hands off right now and waiting to see what happens. But on some of the smaller publications, they're already talking about Pascal trades. If you talk to the fans, you go through the streets of Twitter, they're talking about Pascal trades. So, anyways, Pascal was just struggling once again in this first quarter, as well as in the game overall. But, you know, the Spurs made like a 13-2 run at some point in this first quarter. And, they were able to create a lead for themselves. They're able to get it up to around 9 points with about, I believe it was about like 5 minutes left or something like that, or maybe a minute left. But like, you know, um, Victor Wembanyama was doing his thing in the first quarter. He was blocking everything. I think he had 3 blocks or something in the first quarter. He hit a couple threes in the first quarter. Victor looked strong. He came out like ready. You know what I'm saying? He came out ready in this game. And OG Anunoby, listen, bro. Listen, I'm not gonna say like OG Anunoby like had a bad game or anything like that, because the man killed it, shooting threes, playing solid defense on Victor, everything. But the tone was set early in terms of him going inside versus standing outside shooting the three. This guy tried to get the ball underneath the basket with Victor on top of him like this, tried to make a little room, a little space by putting some body on. Victor just laid his hand out like this, like, yo, and blocked it. Yo, I'm like, OG, what are you doing, dog? This is Victor Wembanyama, fam. You're not gonna score that bucket down low, eh? Not like that. Oh man, that shit had me cracking up, fam. Cracking up. But you gotta test him too. You know what I'm saying? You gotta test him. Like, see what it is for yourself. See what it is for yourself. So I'm not mad at it, but it was funny. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, the Raptors were able to put it down to around 4 now at the end of the first quarter. Okay, you went +5 in like the last minute and a bit. Solid. All right, so you're down 4 going into the second quarter, and this is why I say it was a slow burn. You know what I'm saying? Because again, the Spurs weren't doing anything spectacular. They were just executing their offense, getting second chance points here and there off of the turnovers. But they weren't doing anything special to like feel like they should have been up on us like that in the second quarter. Or maybe I'm just missing it, but I watched it, bro. And I'm looking to see like what the hell is going on here. Like, how did we find ourselves down 19 going into halftime? Raptors turning over the ball way too damn much. Way too damn much. And the shooting was atrocious. Atrocious. I think you only end up scoring like 13 points or something like that in the second quarter, B. Like, that ain't gonna get it done. And tell me this, people. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't feel like the Raptors should be, shooting 50% of their field goal attempts should be 3-point shots. I personally don't feel like that should be a thing, right? But, this is something that happened tonight. Now, mind you, I know you have Victor Wembanyama down there, and, getting a shot up over him is like, a task in the NBA. It's a task. You never really seen anybody like this before. At least not in the modern like days. You know what I'm saying? Not in the modern days. There were other tall guys prior to that were, dumb tall and were lanky and were able to defend the rim. But, Victor gets out on defenders. Sorry, on the shooters. But, I was just trying to figure out, like, 50% of your field goal attempts are threes? And then when they're not going down, which they weren't in the first half, we hit some threes in the first half, but we weren't lighting it up. If we were, we would have had more than 35 points at the half. But yeah, man, they're executing their offense, man. They're moving the ball, making smart cuts, you know, getting down the court before us in the fast break, proper spacing on the court, but nothing special. Coming around screens, taking jumpers, middies, because they didn't take as much like threes as us. They were hitting middies, so they were playing under the 3-point line. So at halftime, basically, we're shooting 31% from the field. Like that's not good. That's not good. That's not good, man. And if we're staying on like the whole conversation around trades, like is Doug McDermott available? Like I would love for him to play Jalen McDaniels minutes, like respectfully. Like no disrespect to Jalen McDaniels, but bro, you are literally giving us nothing. Even in the 5 minutes that you play, I would rather Doug McDermott come in, be a little bit of a liability defensively, but at least you're gonna put up some shots and just bring out the defense so that other people can cook a little bit too. You know what I'm saying? But like when Jalen McDaniels is out there, like it's like no one's, bro. He's struggling. I don't even know what my expectations are for him, but like I expected you to be like a little bit more competent on the offensive end, especially earlier on in the season when you were getting some minutes. Now it's like, okay, now you're getting 5 minutes here, 3 minutes there, and you're a first half player now. Like you're not really seeing him in the second half. But McDermott was doing his thing. He was shooting threes in this game. You know what I'm saying? And it seemed like the stretch when he was out there, McDermott, he was making it count. He was putting the threes up. And that's what 3-point shooters do. You know what I'm saying? They put up the threes and then they try to make a good percentage of them. And he's a professional shooter. If he's available, I wouldn't be mad for him as a little depth piece on this Toronto Raptors squad that is looking really 3-point shooting happy. But they were nothing happy about what was happening here in the second quarter. The Spurs just slow burned on us, and then all of a sudden we were down. Pascal had no field goals in the first half. Say less. So, anyways, third quarter now. Here's where you start to see a little bit of how the Raptors decide that they want to make their comeback. Okay? A little bit. Because the thing about it is, watching this game, it never really felt like in the third quarter that the Raptors were going to make a move. Now, our offense woke up in the third quarter. You know what I'm saying? And what I observed was we're touching the paint, finding the shooters, finding Pirtle underneath the basket. Pascal got him on one. I think Scottie got him on another. Pirtle started to eat now in this third quarter. So the offense is waking up. But the defense slipped. The defense slipped in this quarter. Now, as a team that, right now we're predicated, we're living on our defense. Our defense is the only consistent thing with this team. So if they have an off quarter or two, I'm not going in on these guys, especially because they made up for it in the fourth quarter and overtime playing defense. Sometimes what happens is you find yourself down so much that you're exuding all this effort on the offensive end now, and the defensive end might slip a little bit. Now, I don't want to make excuses, but I'm just saying the offense woke up. He's had Otto Porter touching the floor, hitting threes. Barnes is working a little bit late in the third quarter, getting to the free throw line. Pascal was looking like he was getting good shots again. He was just trying to be aggressive now in the second quarter, but it's just not working somehow. Somehow, some way, it's just not working for him on the offensive end. You know, he was getting his assists now. He was getting his assists, but like he, I keep saying this. We need you to score the ball, straight up and down. Need you to score the ball. So at this point, again, late in the third quarter, between Barnes and Siakam, they had 12 points combined. You know what I mean? So you're starting to feel like this game, especially if Scottie Barnes is not like playing his usual game on the offensive end, then you just figure that this one might not be a high percentage of a comeback because we didn't really trim the deficit too much in the third quarter. It was a 16-point lead at the end of the third. We scored 36 points, so the offense woke up, but then you gave up 32 same way. You know what I'm saying? And like at one point in the third quarter, Matt Devlin's like, yo, the Raptors only have 2 fast break points. So if your half court's not like, doing what it's supposed to do at points in this game, but now you're starting to wake up a little bit in the half court, but you're not getting anything on the fast break, like where's the complementary basketball? And the way that we get out on the fast break is through the defense. So you see how everything needs to be complementary? So it was looking like, like this team just can't get it together for, a full rounded effort on all dimensions of the game. So down 16 now going into the fourth. You have OG hitting a 3. You have Scottie hitting a mid-range. You know what I'm saying? Malachi is getting active on the defensive end, creating turnovers. Like the defense is now starting to wake up, y'all. The defense is starting now time to wake up, led by that unit with Malachi Flynn, Otto Porter Jr. I think Gary Trent Jr. was out there, Barnes, and I think it was OG. Like, apparently this is like a lineup right now because, this is one thing that you look for with good coaching too. You know what I'm saying? Because this is not a normal type of lineup that we've seen so far over the first 7 games. But give Darko credit for like looking into his bench and finding players that are, working together right now on both ends of the court. Give Darko credit for that. So yeah, man, like, yo, I don't even know what to say for this, man. Scottie Barnes just started going off. Like, yo, is that really it? Like, fourth quarter, Scottie Barnes is really just started going off. This guy's hitting threes again. This guy went 5 for 10 tonight, like shooting 50% for tonight from 3. But like, he's not just shooting threes. He's also getting to the offensive boards, getting points off of the offensive board, either for himself or for others. That's why I started off this stream talking about how, like, yo, Scottie Barnes has the mentality of a superstar player. It's the fourth quarter now. It's time to turn up. It's time to turn up. And then you see the rest of the squad, they're feeling that energy. They're feeling that energy. And everybody's just bouncing around. So yeah, we need Scottie to score and stuff like that. But the intangibles that I was talking about earlier, setting the tone and galvanizing the rest of the team to, get a little bit lower in your stance. Keep your head on a swivel a little bit more. Let's communicate the defense. Let's get out and run. Everybody fill the lanes properly. If there's a missed shot, get to the offensive boards. So they did all of that in the fourth quarter. You know what I'm saying? These guys are working hard. Gary Trent Jr. as well. Now, I know I've been hard on him so far to start the year. That's because I know he's better than what he showed. Remember at one point it was like him and OG leading the league in steals or something. I think it was last year, maybe the year before. But like, yo, this guy knows how to get his hands on the basketball when he's down in the defense. He has anticipatory skills when the ball is trying to get swung around the perimeter or on the inside. Like, he knows how to kind of hedge a little bit and make a play. Malachi Flynn, yo, this has to pay off for us. This has to pay off for us. Because in past years, he would have got yanked for missing missing a shot. His leash right now is long. And he needs that. He needs that. He needs the confidence from the coach. And I know everything's not going down for him. He's still making some turnovers. But you got to big him up for how he's playing defense. And when the shot goes up, his shot form looks good. So there's something there. I think he has the right mechanics in his shot. But Otto Porter Jr., man. Otto Porter Jr. Man, yo, fam. You know what I'm saying? Like, Otto Porter Jr. hitting big threes again down the stretch when you need it. You know what I'm saying? Put us down 5. Put us down 5. You know what I'm saying? Then he gets the offensive rebound on a missed free throw, gets it over to Dennis Schroeder for the fast break layup. Like, you just have to, like, appreciate the little things that don't always show up with context in a box score. Like, Otto Porter Jr., yo, I know that they're trying to bring him back from his injury and everything, right? He's now starting to get healthy. I really hope and pray that he can get to a point where he can start playing, more games, right? Because right now they're keeping him out on the back-to-backs and those things of that nature. And they're trying to keep his load light. But what he's showing in a little bit of time that he is out there is that he is effective. And he's doing all the little things that help you win. So shout out to him, man, because, bro, without Otto Porter Jr., like, a lot of this stuff becomes, like, who are you, like, gonna depend on? Jalen McDaniels for, like, these little plays? And I know it seems like I'm taking a shot, Jalen McDaniels. It's just he's not doing it. And then when I see another player doing it, I have to big that up. Like, we got to call a spade a spade. If I have a channel as a fan, I just got to call it the way that I see it. I'm not hating. Do some more, Jalen McDaniels. You'll get another opportunity, and at some point, let's hope that you fit in to what this team is asking of you. But right now, Otto Porter Jr., he's doing it. Now, I get it. We're talking about a vet versus a young player, but, yo, I want Otto Porter Jr. out there. I want him out there in crunch time. You feel me? So, yeah, man, like, Scottie Barnes now blowing by Wemby for a dunk. You know what I'm saying? Scottie Barnes, a three, like a 3 off the dribble, is it a step back or to the side, drills a 3. Drills a 3. You know what I'm saying? Big buckets. Then Otto Porter Jr. wins another jump ball. This is the second one I was talking about earlier. This time against Zach Collins. You know what I'm saying? And then they called a foul on Siakam. Okay? They called a foul on Siakam on the out of bounds play where I think Keldon Johnson tripped over his foot. Like, they went to replay and still came back and said that this was a foul on Siakam. I disagree. I think that was a BS call, personally. I think that's a BS call. I get it in, like, the heat of the game. But when you're able to go to the review now and you're looking at the monitors, fam, like, there's nothing illegal about it. Both players are going for the ball. One player stepped on another player's foot. So what are you saying? Like, he didn't give him position, but shouldn't the defender also have, not even defender, at this point it's 2 players going for a loose ball. Shouldn't both players have fair access to go get the ball as long as they're in control? Like Siakam even pulled up a little bit on that play because he's like, okay, Keldon's gonna either have to make a tough save and it's gonna be out of bounds, but it's not gonna be on me. So it goes. You know what I'm saying? And at that point, that was a big time in the game because it's a tie game at that point. 108, 108. Johnson hits his free throws, and now Dennis Schroeder comes down the court now. I think there was about 10 seconds left and misses the three. We're like, damn, man. All that work just to come up short because it looked like Wemby got the rebound. But what actually happened was Wemby did get the rebound. But when he's trying to bring it in and secure it, Cedi Osman, the ball hits off of his head. OG now, because our energy is like on point now in this fourth quarter, OG gets to the loose ball and lays it in. Ties up the game now with what? 1 point something seconds left to go. Yo, OG Anunoby. They call that Johnny on the spot, fam. They call that Johnny on the spot. But good things happen when you're playing with energy and that you're keeping your head on a swivel and you're going for the ball. Especially at that point in the game where, the game is literally on the line. Like OG Anunoby just saved us right there. OG Anunoby saved us. Now, I know he was shooting threes all night because he went 7 for 13 from the floor, but there was no bigger bucket than the hustle play and the lay-in from him. Beautiful stuff, bro. Beautiful stuff. And not to mention now on the inbounds play from the side, the Spurs are trying to get the ball in. Now, mind you, all night long, you're seeing plays where the Spurs are just tossing the ball up for Wemby because he's the only one that can literally get it. They could toss it to the scoreboard and Wemby's going to get it. You understand? But for whatever reason, on this play where they actually had an opportunity to get a shot off, now, they had no timeouts. They really could have probably used a timeout because they weren't getting anything the way that the Raptors were denying the basketball. But Sochan tried to throw it half court now. Sorry, not half court. Cross court from sideline to sideline. And Scottie Barnes is playing the free safety position like it's NFL football and picks it off. And it has the presence of mind to call a timeout. And Darko's right on top of it too. Timeout. Yo, heads up play, eh? Heads up play. When the clock stopped, they said it was 0.1, but they had to rewind it back and make it a 0.9. Rewind it back. So now you got an opportunity now. You know what I'm saying? You have an opportunity to go win this game in regulation with 0.9 seconds. Get the ball in. Scottie Barnes turnaround jumper from the baseline, and it didn't go down. But bro, we came down from as much as 20 from 19 in that fourth quarter to take this game to overtime. Fantastic effort, man. Fantastic effort. So how things were slow burning all game long, somehow, some way, we got this game to OT. We got this game to OT. Man, what a game. And to start OT now, basically you have Siakam hitting a three. So now Siakam's, I'll give it to him. You hit a timely three because we needed it. We can badge you up about this and that and talk about trade talks, whatever. Like, you hit a big three. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Because we needed it in overtime now. Because, sometimes what happens is when teams expend all that energy to get back into the game and force an overtime, sometimes they just have nothing left in the tank. And both teams were like, they were going for it. You know what I'm saying? Jakob Poeltl, offensive rebound, the finish, playing defense on Zach Collins that led to an OG corner three. And that ball swung around on the comeback. Siakam touched it at the top of the three-point line, hit it off to Dennis. OG in the corner, money. That's home base for him. That's home base for him. Money. Money. Schroeder got a mid-range jumper. Money. Pirtle getting the extra possession on the tap out, taking more time off the clock. What left is there to talk about? It's a wrap at that point. It's a wrap. We did everything that we had to do in overtime to go and get the W. Man. You got to appreciate, what this team did last night, man. What they did last night. You got to appreciate it because, again, the difference between being 3-4 and 2-5, it feels like 10 times different, I believe. Now you're one game under 500. And to start the week, I'm saying, just go 2-2. Raptors, just go 2-2. And it didn't work out like the way that I wanted it to in terms of how that was going to work. And not that I wanted it. It did work out the way I wanted it to. It didn't work out the way that I predicted. You know what I'm saying? I thought we'd beat the Blazers, beat the Spurs. We lost to the Blazers, smashed the Bucks, got our ass handed to us again in Philly. And then we had, tied our biggest comeback in the fourth quarter in franchise history on the road. 19 points. 19 points. So, we're in position right now, man. We're hanging around. We're hanging around while we all know that we have not played our best basketball to this point. Our best basketball is in front of us. But honestly, we got to figure out something about all the turnovers. The second half was much better. I think we only had 4 turnovers in the second half, none in the fourth quarter in overtime, I believe. So, there's correlation. There's correlation. You're not turning over the ball. You're getting high quality possessions. You're turning over the other team. And you're making things happen by pushing the envelope, making sure the ball gets up the floor quick. Big up Scottie Barnes for that because it felt like every time this guy touched the ball, he's pushing the ball up the court. And the rest of the Raptors need to feel that energy too. You know what I'm saying? We ended up all getting on the same page in the fourth quarter. And it's still a quality win because the Spurs are coming off, sweeping the Suns on the back-to-back with the Suns. Now, I know that there's still players out for the Suns, but they were 3-2 coming into this game. They were above 500. Now they're 3-3. We're 3-4. So, I'll take it. I will definitely take that. You know what I'm saying? But the turnovers, we need to do something about that, and we need to have cleaner games. The free throw shooting is just not good. Not good. And I really don't want to have to go in on these guys on the free throw shooting because we are literally second worst in the league shooting free throws right now by percentage. Second worst. And we're fifth worst in terms of attempts getting to the line. So, we're shooting all these threes. We're not getting to the free throw lines for the easies. I don't know, man. This might be for another episode in terms of, some of the things that need to improve with this team. But for now, we got the W last night. And, we don't play again for another few days. I think it's 2 or 3 days where, we got to go to Dallas. So they're alluding to this on the broadcast as well. The Raptors are going to have some time to practice and, really start to dig into building out on what Darko wants to do on the offensive end. And, I think that's going to be very important for this team because it just feels like we've been playing. You know what I'm saying? We've been just playing. There are other teams that played way less games than us coming into this one. So we're up there with the other teams that have played 7 games as well. So this is a welcome mini break to start breaking down how to get Pascal more involved with the offense on a consistent basis, and how to build some sort of consistency with the offense in general. And hopefully, if there's time left, we can work on some free throw shooting. But nevertheless, if you made it to the end of this video, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I know this one's a little bit long for just a Raptors game recap, but yo, we had to talk about it because there's so many things that are happening within the game, and things that may impact the game, or not impact the game, but impact our season based on performance within the game of certain players. So, let's use this time again, Raptors, to figure it out. And us as fans, let's just chill a little bit. Let's chill a little bit. We're not trading anybody before Wednesday. You know what I mean? We're not. But I appreciate everybody for watching this video. And if you're not subscribed, please do that. Smash the like button and hit the notification bell. And I will be back with you again later on in the week. But until then, you know the flex. It's your boy, and I'm out.